Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video, and I'm just out here on my Facebook page refreshing and making sure that I'm live where I want to be, which hopefully I am. If you're hopping in, feel free to say hello, and we'll get started in just a second with the card as soon as I can get the video pulled up here, and make sure that I can see all your comments and anybody hopping in to join today. So hopefully you all are having a great Tuesday, and we are going to be playing with the Bonanza Buddies stamp set bundle from the January to June 2020 mini catalog. And we're going to make a fun little birthday card with that today. So I'm going to show you how I did this on the video. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. And again, if you're hopping in, feel free to say hello. I did have kind of a fun little find on this with this designer series paper and the dies. These are called the Bonanza dies, and again, they're part of the Bonanza Buddies bundle, stamp set bundle. They're also part of the full product suite that the Birthday Bonanza product suite, I believe is what it's called. But I discovered as I was playing around with the designer series paper that actually the dies coordinate perfectly with some of the images in the designer series paper. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but I thought that was kind of a fun little find. So that's the lion image, and he's got, hey Catherine, I'm glad you're joining. Hi Karen, happy to see you here too as well. So he's got a little one that cuts out his mane and his tail as well as his face and his body. And then this piece of designer series paper with the koalas on it. The koala die actually fits around it perfectly, and we'll cut that image out. And then the final piece of paper that coordinates with the die set is the little toucan bird actually is cut out by that as well. So that's an awesome little, like I said, that's a little bonus. I didn't really realize that, and if I knew that before, or if it's mentioned somewhere, I was not paying attention, but I just discovered that as I was playing with the designer paper. So you are right, Karen, no fussy cutting. So hey Barbara, and hey Nancy, and hi Marilyn, thanks for hopping in and saying hello. So let's get going on the card. I'm going to set this aside over here so that hopefully I don't spill on it. And as usual, I've kind of done a few things ahead of time. This is the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper, which again is in that same product suite. And so I've got that cut to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inches. And all the cardstock cuts will be out on my blog tomorrow. I think I just ran a snail on that one. So you don't need to worry about writing things down and keeping track of that sort of thing while we're going through the video today. So, but again, all the details will be out on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com. So if you're not following along, feel free to head out there and subscribe, and you'll start getting the blog posts. So we're adhering this to, hey Jean, thanks for hopping in from North Dakota. Ooh, negative 24 degrees. That does not sound good at all. That is awful. So, all the designer papers have that awesome trick. I'm not that you mean the matching dies? I'm not entirely sure. Those are the only papers in this pack that coordinate with the dies, if that's what you're asking about, Catherine. So, but yeah, it's kind of often that they're starting to do that. They're starting to realize that we like it when things like that coordinate. It makes it easier for cutting things out. So. All right. So again, I adhere this with snail to a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Bermuda Bay cardstock. I've got another piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock and another piece of the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper. Then we're going to adhere those together. This one is cut to 1 1/2 inches for the Designer Series paper by 3 3/4, or I'm sorry, by 4 3/4 inches. And I'm adhering that to a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, which is, I don't know what, 1 5/8 by 3 7/8, I think is what this is. I should double check that, but I think that's what we are. We're close to that. And again, it'll all be posted out on my blog tomorrow. See, this is why I should try not to say the sizes during the video, because I always get them wrong. So, all right, so we're going to adhere those two pieces together with a little bit of snail. And again, there's no like magical placement of it. I just sort of like the way it looked a little bit, slid a bit over to this side. So going to set that aside for 1 second. And I went ahead and pre-cut some pieces with the tag die from the Bonanza dies, which this is the larger tag die from that die set. And I cut Whisper White cardstock. And then I also cut another piece of the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper. The Birthday Buddy, or the Bonanza Buddies stamp set bundle is really cute. And the whole product suite is awesome. So there's lots of good things in it, lots of coordinating pieces. So so all that I did was basically just took this and about an inch of the designer series paper and just ran it through my die cutting machine so that I'd have a little bit of decoration that I could put on the bottom of the tag. So that is how I did that. The other paper from that pack coordinates with the punches, I think. I am not entirely sure which punches you're talking about or which other pack of paper, but anyway, so you could definitely be right. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I just had that discovery that it matched up with the dies, and I was excited about that because you all know that I hate fussy cutting. So, all right. So next thing that I did was took a little bit, this is the metallic Baker's Twine and Sequins combo pack. This is actually a celebration item. Hey, Kevin, thanks for hopping in. So this is actually a celebration item that you can get for free with an order of $50 or greater during celebration, which is running now through the end of March. So March 31st is the last day. And this is technically So Saffron, but it's pretty similar in color, I think, to the Daffodil Delight in this designer series paper, so I thought we could get away with it. All right, so I took the twine and wrapped it through a couple times here through the top of the tag, just to give it a little bit more at the top. It looked a little skimpy with just one, I thought, so I ran it through here a couple times, and then gonna roll out a piece of this and snip it off. All right, and then gonna tie a little bow at the top, hopefully, if I can get it done here on screen, which again, as you know, bows for me are usually not too hard until I get on camera, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm got 12 thumbs and I can't seem to get the bows to tie. So we will give it a shot here, and hopefully today will be a good one, a good bow day, but you never know. All right, and one thing I have noticed about this metallic twine, some other twines that I've used that have the metallic threads through them, the metallic thread kind of comes undone from the rest of the twine, if that makes sense, and it unravels and kind of makes a mess. So this twine actually seems to be pretty kind of tightly woven with the metallic pieces through it. So it's not coming unraveled nearly as easily as some of the other stuff I've used. So I actually really like it. I think it's definitely a good twine. So, hi Mary from Wisconsin, and yep, Green Bay. Yeah, I agree. Go Green Bay. Hoping that they end up in the Super Bowl this year. So we shall see. So Catherine says she's going to check the dies that she has with the, yes, so anything that comes in a suite like that, definitely check, because a lot of times they have, little things like that they don't necessarily say, but that they coordinate, and it's always nice to know that. So, all right, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I used the lion image, and I will say that the images in the catalog look a little creepy. At least until you get the faces put on them. So it's kind of an odd looking set in the catalog. When I initially looked at it, I'm like, ooh, those look a little scary. But they're really cute once you get their little faces put on. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and do a little stamping here with the Daffodil Delight. Again, just doing the little lion body. And then we're going to stamp his face on in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And Gina saying go pack. Yep, I agree. So this one, it doesn't need to be perfectly stamped. I just sort of try to get up above the image and get it sort of straight on his face. I mean, it doesn't, they're cute and little critters, so they don't have to be perfect by any stretch. So the next thing we're going to stamp is the mane and the end of the tail, which is on one stamp. Hopefully you can see that on here. So. Yep, I agree that it is it's good twine, so I like it. And I like that the metallic pieces stay in it, because I've used some before and they don't, and it's really hard to use. So, all right, so I'm stamping this separately. As you'll see here in a second, there are dies that cut out the two individual pieces. And again, this is Mango Melody, if I didn't say that, for the lions, the mane and the tail. So then we're going to stamp the little birthday hat in Bermuda Bay. I used a lot of different ink colors today too, which is it's something a little different. I guess I was just playing and kept pulling things out and, doing something new with got ink all over my fingers. Doing something new, playing with some new colors. And I like a lot of the colors in this designer paper. It's kind of bright and it's fun. And so, all All right, terracotta tile we're going to use for the little fluff at the top of the hat. I'm not entirely sure what the name of that is. I'm calling it the fluff at the top of the birthday hat. So that will that'll be my official name for it from here on out. So, all right, so there are dies that coordinate with the stamped images here. So we have this one that matches the lion and his body, and then this one that coordinates with the mane and the end of the tail. And then we have this piece. Oh, pom-poms, you're probably right. That's probably a better word than fluff at the top of the hat. So that one that matches the little party hat, and then this one that matches the pom-pom. So because it is kind of a lot of die cutting and a little fiddly here, I went ahead and through the magic of television, ta-da, we have them all die cut already. So I thought that would be easier than sitting here and watching me die cut pieces over and over again. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere the little lion's face on. Hopefully I didn't get way too much glue on that. I'm going to be kind of careful. Keep my fingers crossed. That looks like it's good. So adhere his face on. Yep. Oh, you like the animal stamps and dies? I'm glad that you're liking it, and I'm glad that you like the card and that I'm playing with them today. So it's a really cute set. So sticking doing a little bit of adhering together here, again with multi-purpose liquid glue or the green glue, so that got a little time to rearrange like I just did on his face, where I sort of had it on there crooked and straightened it out just a little bit. Then a little dot here on the tail, so we can put the end of the tail on here. And hopefully they'll all stay together as I flip it over. And then we're going to add a little bit more glue to the back and going to adhere this to the tag. So, all right. It's definitely a fun set. I think you will like it if you get it. I mean, I think it's really cute. Again, when I looked at it initially in the catalog, I thought it looked a little odd. I wasn't quite sure that I loved it, because it's, like I said, without the faces on the animals, they just look really weird to me. But once I started playing with it and stamping with it, I realized how cute they really were, and that it's definitely a good bundle and good, yeah. And technically, I think it's for kids, but I really think that, we're all kids, kind of. I think it could be fun for anybody, a fun little stamp set to use. So I'm adhering the little birthday hat on with a glue dot and the pom-pom as well for the top of his hat. Stick that on with a little glue dot up here. All right, so we're pretty well done with the tag part then. Get to flip it over and add some Stampin' dimensionals to the back. Yeah, I agree. Grandkids would be all over it. And actually, like I said, I feel like, there are some adults you may not necessarily want to give it to, but I think this would work for almost any adult too. It's a really cute stamp set and a really cute bundle, and lots of good images, and the designer paper is really fun in it. The colors are good, so I think you can't go wrong by getting it. So, all right, so we'll flip this over, and I'm going to try to straighten that out just a little bit, so hopefully I don't get this on here crooked. And then try to just center the tag over the top of the designer series paper. The next thing that I did was stamped a little sentiment. Again, this is all from the Bonanza Buddies stamp set. We got some Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we're going to stamp it on Mango Melody cardstock. And again, the sizes, I think I need to ink that a little bit better. The sizes will all be out on my blog post tomorrow, but this one is 3 3/4 by 3 7/8. I'm sorry, it's 3/4 of an inch, not 3 3/4. Come on, Amy. 3/4 of an inch by 3 7/8. I should probably give up trying to give you the sizes, because I'm going to say I'm all wrong. And then I'm going to reach over here and do a quick clean of my pom-pom image, because we're going to stamp that all over in Mango Melody over the Mango Melody cardstock panel. And just kind of randomly stamped it here and there. Didn't really have any specific pattern that I was going for, just kind of trying to get it randomly stamped over it. So I'm glad that you agree, Gina. I think it is definitely for all ages. So it's a fun stamp set and fun designer paper and fun to use. So, all right, so we'll close that up. And then I'm going to adhere that to a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, which is 7/8 by 3 7/8. A little extra snail here on the back of that. And we're going to adhere the two pieces together, hopefully, if I can get them on here straight. All right. And then the one little trick that I did on the front is because the sides are raised up on it, I put dimensionals under the sides, and then a little bit of snail in the center where it's going to stick on the tag so that it would be held securely kind of across the center as well as on the sides when I adhered it together. I like the color combo too. I think that it's fun. It's a fun paper and, you know, fun to use, and the colors are good. And like I said, I think it's good for everybody. So not just kids. All right, lining this up, trying to keep it so that it's straight across the edges, stuck down in the middle. I think we aimed for straight on that one. I think we got it. So, and the designer paper does definitely have some good patterns on both sides. So it does make it, you know, there's some that are a little more backgroundy and some that are, you know, bright and fun and full of balloons. So yep, definitely a good pack of paper. Add in a few rhinestones. These are from the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels pack. And these are technically pumpkin pie rhinestones, but I felt like they were really close in color. Come on, this one is being a little picky. Really close in color to the Mango Melody, so I didn't think it clashed. I liked that it was, you know, not just your standard rhinestone on it, so I went with the Holiday Rhinestones and used the ones that were pumpkin pie instead of, since we didn't have any Mango Melody ones. So I adhered that onto a card base that is from Daffodil Delight cardstock, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Just using some Stampin' dimensionals. So yep, I agree that they look perfect with it. I think they look good with it. I like it. I was happy with the way it turned out. And sometimes you get them on and you think, oh, that's not quite the right color, and you know, then when you do pick them off. But I felt like these worked pretty well. Sort of like the So Saffron twine that I just used on it too, that I felt like that was close enough in color and looked good enough with it, because there are a lot of kind of different shades of colors going on in the designer papers too, so that helps definitely when you're doing this kind of a project. So we'll get that adhered on to the card front, and that is done. Then on the inside of the card, I did a little bit of stamping. Again, just put the sentiment in Bermuda Bay ink, and this again is a sentiment from the Bonanza Buddies stamp set. Putting it Bermuda Bay ink, and going to try to get it somewhat centered here. All right, and then we've got, I was going to stamp the little lion next to it, and hopefully I will get everything stamped straight and his little face on straight, and if not, we'll flip it over and we'll do it again. So using Daffodil Delight to ink up the lion, we're going to stamp him here next to the sentiment. Close that one up, and then gonna do the little face in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This was the most challenging part just because it's hard for me to not be right up over the top of it. It's easier when you're stamping by yourself and don't have a camera right in the middle of where your face should be to look at it. Do the sequins match in the Celebration catalog match this paper? Well, let's pull them out in a second. Actually, let me finish stamping, and I'll pull out the sequins and we can take a look at them. So. And then Mango Melody for the mane and tail again. And this one, you just kind of have to eyeball it and try to line up the tail and make sure you're lining up the face. And hopefully I've got them both on here, because I always sit here and go, oh, and then, oh, look at that. I think I even did it. So, like I said, it's a little easier when I can get right up above it and stand over the top and look down. But when I have the camera right in the middle of where I need to be, it's a little hard to see it. But they're really, the stamps are actually really easy to use. Again, like I said, when you don't have something in between you and the stamp set. So, all right. And you would not have his face all off to the side. You'd be good. So like I said, as long as you can get up over the top of it, you can see real easily right through the stamps. So that is the inside of the card. So we're going to fold it quickly and do a quick crease with the bone folder. And then that's the card share for today. So I'm going to pull out the sequins. The sequins in here are So Saffron, and they're Calypso Coral and Bermuda Bay. So the Bermuda Bay would definitely match. The Calypso Coral, I think, depending on which, if you changed this shade of orange cardstock, I think that you probably could get away with it, because I think it goes well enough with the balloons and things in here that I think you could use this sequin with it. But it sort of doesn't go, because I picked the wrong color for the oranges in it. And then the yellow, I think definitely you could use too, again, because it's, you know, there are shades of yellow in the designer series paper. So I think that you could if I can get the blue one to unstick from my finger. I was trying to show you that the Bermuda Bay matches as well. So I really think you could use the sequins on it if you wanted to. So, hey Judy, thanks for hopping in, and hope that you enjoyed the video. So again, hopefully you can, now see it's stuck on my thumb. That little one just does not want to come off my finger. I'm not sure why. So, all right. So, but yeah, I think you could definitely use the sequins from that pack. They are just stuck all over me. Apparently I am full of, I don't know, they're just stuck on me. Full of something, I'm not entirely sure. So, but yeah, I think you can definitely get away with using the sequins on here if you wanted to. So, hey, thank you very much, Mary. That is all that I had for the project today. So, thanks for joining me. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the card. I had fun making it, and it's a fun little card and cute to give to grandkids, kids, or like I said, even adults. So, thanks again for joining. I will plan to be back next week, Tuesday. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'll be posting all the details out on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. So feel free to stop it and check it out. And I'll have the right measurements out on the blog no matter what I said in here. All right. Thanks again. And thanks for stopping in to leave comments and check out the project. See you all next week.